My name is Olivia. I am 72 years old. I am an old woman. I live alone in a small house in a village. My husband died many years ago. My only son, Michael, left home 20 years ago after a big fight. He never came back. He never called. He never sent a letter. I waited every day, but he did not come. I was sad, but I did not cry in front of others. Every Sunday, I wrote a letter. I wrote about how much I missed him. I also wrote that I was sorry, but I never sent the letters. I kept all the letters in a small wooden box. A young man named Nathan worked at the post office. He came to my house every Monday. He asked me, "Do you have any letters today?" I always smiled and said, "Not this week." Nathan never asked more, but he once saw the wooden box. He knew it had many letters inside. He knew they were for someone I loved. One Sunday, I felt very weak. My heart felt heavy, but I still wrote the letter. At the end of the letter, I did something new. I wrote Michael's old address. I remembered it from long ago. I put the letter on the table and said, "Maybe it's time." The next morning, Nathan came as usual. He knocked on the door and waited. I opened the door slowly. My hands were shaking. I felt tired. I gave Nathan a white envelope and asked, "Can you send this, dear?" Nathan was surprised. For the first time in many years, I was posting a letter. He looked at the envelope. The name on it was Michael. He looked at me, but I had already walked back to my chair. Nathan walked out of the house and looked at the letter again. He didn't know who Michael was, but now he understood that he was someone I had missed for a long time. Nathan went to the post office. He added a note on the envelope. "Please deliver if this person still lives here." He paid for a faster delivery, even though I hadn't asked for it. 2 days later, Nathan visited me again. I was in bed, feeling very weak. My eyes opened slowly when I saw him. "Did you send it?" I asked. Nathan smiled and said, "Yes, I did." I smiled and closed my eyes. Far from the village in a busy city, Michael lived in a small apartment. He worked in a repair shop and lived alone. He did not have many friends. His heart was full of old pain. He never spoke about his past. He never told anyone about me. He thought I must have forgotten him. He thought I would be angry forever, so he stayed away. We had not spoken for 20 years. One evening, Michael came home and saw an envelope on his table. It had no sender name, just his old address. He opened it. He read the first 2 words, "Dear Michael." His hands froze. His eyes filled with tears. The letter was short but full of love. I said I was sorry. I said I missed him every day. I wrote, "My heart never stopped waiting for you." Michael held the letter to his chest. He sat down and cried like a child. That night, Michael did not sleep. He read the letter again and again. He remembered the day he left. He had shouted at me. He had blamed me for things. But now he felt like a son again, a son who wanted to go home. The next morning, he packed a small bag. He didn't care about work. He just wanted to see me. He wanted to hold my hand. He wanted to say the words he had kept in his heart. I'm sorry, too. He took the first bus to the village. His heart beat fast. He kept asking himself, will she still be there? Will she open the door? His heart was full of fear. Michael reached the village after many hours. He was going to his house after 20 years. He stood outside his house for a long time. He looked at the door, the windows, the garden. Nothing had changed. He raised his hand to knock but stopped. What if she doesn't open the door? He thought. What if I'm too late? His heart beat faster. But then he remembered the letter, my words. Slowly he knocked. There was no sound. He waited and knocked again. Still no answer. Just then, Nathan opened the door. Nathan looked at him confused. Yes, he asked. Michael said, I'm Michael. I got a letter from Olivia. Nathan opened the door. Come in, he said. She's inside, but she's not well. Michael walked in. Nathan took him to the bedroom. I lay on the bed. My eyes were closed. I was very weak. Nathan touched my hand. Mother, he said. My eyes opened. I turned my head, and then my eyes saw him. Michael, I whispered. Michael held my hand and cried. It's me, Mother. I'm here. I got your letter, so I came. Tears filled my eyes. You came back, I said. I waited so long. Michael nodded. I'm sorry, Mother. I was angry. I was foolish. Please forgive me. I smiled and said, You don't need to say sorry, son. You came. That's enough. For a few minutes, we just held hands. No more words, no more questions. Michael sat beside me all night. At dawn, I looked at him and said, You must be tired. Michael replied, No, Mother. I've been tired for 20 years, but tonight I can finally rest. I smiled. For the first time in 20 years, I had slept peacefully, and Michael had stayed awake all night, not because of pain, but because he was afraid to lose this moment. I opened my eyes and saw my son. You're still here, I whispered. Michael said, I'm not going anywhere, Mother. Not again. I nodded and said, I feel better today. Michael brought me tea. I said, This feels like old times. He smiled and said, This is just the beginning, Mother. I've come home. Later that day, Nathan came to visit. He smiled when he saw us together. I said, Nathan, this is my son, the one I used to write to. It's good to meet you, Michael. I think your mother's letters kept her alive. She never missed a Sunday. Michael looked at the wooden box and opened it. There were too many letters. He picked one. The date was from 10 years ago. He read it. He read another and another. He could not stop. His mother had never stopped hoping, never stopped writing, never stopped loving. Days passed. My health got better. Michael cleaned the house, cooked dinner, and took care of me. He told me about his lonely life in the city. Both of us cried. Both of us healed. One Sunday, I asked for my writing pen. Michael brought it and said, Writing again? I said, One last time, I wrote, "Dear Michael, you came back. That is all I ever wanted. My Sundays will not need letters now. You are here. You are my home. And my heart is full. Thank you, my son, for giving this old woman her smile back. With love, Mother." I folded the paper and gave it to him. "This one is for you. Keep it." Michael held the letter close to his heart. He didn't say anything, but his eyes spoke everything. That week, Michael found a job in the same village. He decided to stay forever. He did not want to miss another moment. He cooked meals, helped neighbors, and took me on walks. Nathan visited often. We became like family. I lived for 2 more years, peaceful, happy, loved. And when I passed away, I had my son beside me, holding my hand. After the funeral, Michael took all the letters and put them in a new box. He wrote on top, "Letters of love." Every Sunday, instead of writing letters, he read one. He cried, but never felt alone again. Years later, Michael got married. He named his daughter Olivia, and every Sunday, he told her stories about an old woman, a box of letters, and a love that never gave up. If you liked this story, please like, comment, share, and